All right, here we're continuing on, and now we're going to do some examples from the book. And so basically what we're doing is we're subtracting these numbers, and we're going to go and we're going to add the opposite. That's kind of what we're doing here. So we're going to say, well, that's 2 plus opposite of 11. Now we know 11 is the larger number. 11 minus 2, that's going to give us 9. And the sign of the larger number is negative, so a negative 9. Now, what about this one? Well, we have minus 14 minus 2. Well, negative, negative, that becomes positive. So that's really a negative 14 plus 2. Well, now we're back to the larger one is 14. Subtract off the smaller one. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 1, nothing is 1. And so we get 12. But our larger sign was a negative. So it's a negative 12. Okay, well here we have that negative, negative again. So what did we do before? Well, negative, negative is positive. So that says 20 plus 10. Well, those are just both positive numbers, so we can just take 20 plus 10, and what do we get? We get 30. Okay. And if you need to, you can line them up. You go 0 and 0, 0, 2 and 1 is 3, and we get 30. All right, so the next one sort of looks like that one. It looks like we're going to have a negative, negative, so that becomes positive. So we're going to have 14 plus 20. And again, you want to go ahead and line them up. We can. That's a 4, that's a 3. So we get 34. And both of them are positive, so our final answer is also positive. All right, what about number 5? Well, here we have a minus 13 minus 5. So first, let's rewrite it in position. Minus 13 plus the opposite of 9. Now we're adding two like signs. So we can take 13 plus 9. So we have 9, 10, 11, 12. Carry 1, 1, 2. And so we get 22 as our number. And then we have our prefixes and negative because both of them have negative on it. All right, what about the next one? Well, before we start, I see a negative, negative. Okay, and so I'm going to say that's a positive. And now I'm just going to go through and do like I did up here. I'm just going to rewrite any of them that are subtraction into adding the opposite and then continue on. So it's going to be a negative 15 plus the opposite of 4. And then that just becomes plus 6. Okay. Now here we have two like signs. So we can take 15 plus 4. Well, that's 19. But our sign is negative, so it's a negative 19. And then plus 6. Well, now we have opposite signs, so that means we're going to subtract. So we take the larger, which is 19, subtract off the smaller, which is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. 1 minus 0 is 1. And so we get 13. But the larger sign was negative, or larger number was negative. So it's actually a negative 13. Okay. How about some more? All right, so here we've got a negative, negative, and negative, negative. Well, both of those negatives are going to cancel out and become all positive. So that says we have 7 plus 13 plus 1. Well, so now we can take and we can say, well, 13 plus 7, and we can get 7 plus 3 is 10, 31, that's 20, and we add one more, 21, and so this becomes 21. Okay. What about the next one? Well, it looks like it's doing the same kind of thing. We're having negative, 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 negative. So we're just going to, again, convert them all. And so now that gives us 5 plus 5 plus 14. Well, if we take and we group those two together, we get 10. And we still have plus 14 because they're all like signs. So now 10 plus 14, well, that's going to give us 24. And again, if you must, you can add just like this. 4 and 0 is 4, 1 and 1 is 2, and we get our 24. All right, so what do we do down here? Well, this one is kind of like what we saw previously. I'm going to keep that 6. And I'm going to keep the negative, and I'm going to look at this in here first. So it's a negative 14, and then plus a 9. Okay? So now I've got like signs. I'm going to add those two together. 14 plus 9. Well, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Carry 1. That becomes 2. Remember, we're adding. And so this becomes 6 minus. And inside here, it's 23. But our signs are both negative, so it's a negative 23. Okay. Now guess what? Well, now we're back to the negative negative. So that negative and negative becomes positive. And so we can take 23 plus 6, that's a 9, that's a 2, and we get 29. And it's going to be a positive 29 because both of them are positive now. All right. What about the next one? Well, the next one, we're going to have to work kind of in two sets of parentheses. We'll do what's in here, and we'll do what's in here. Well, here we have the negative negative, so that's a positive. And here we have to convert and say, okay, let's go ahead and rewrite this. We have a negative 6 plus 8 minus, we have a minus 9 plus a negative 3. And now we can simplify inside of parentheses. So here we have a minus 6 plus 8. Well, that really is just taking 8 minus 6. And so that's 2. And again, you can write on top of each other, but I'm just going to kind of do it in my head this time. And here we have a negative 9 plus a negative 3. So they're the same sign. So we can take 9 plus 3, and we get 12. But our sign is negative, so it's going to be a negative 12. Now we've got a negative, so guess what? That becomes positive, and we get 14. Okay. All right, so that's some more examples. Let's see if we have any more. Yes, a few more. All right, so again, what we have to do is work inside of parentheses first. And so that gives me 1 minus 1 plus negative 4. So now I'm adding two like signs, and that's the key. We want to see if they're like when we add or if they're different. We don't want to have, minus 1 minus 4, because that's kind of confusing. But if we have minus 1 plus a negative 4, those are like, and so we take 1 plus 4, we get 5, and we just choose the sign which is negative. So it's going to be 1 minus a negative 5. Now we've got the negative once more, that becomes positive. So 1 plus 5 plus 6. Okay. All right, here we go on this one. We've got parentheses here. So let's work inside this. So a negative becomes positive here. And so we get negative 2 plus 3. And minus, well, this negative becomes positive 2. So we have 3 plus 6. Well, here this is really 3 minus 2. Well, 3 minus 2 is just 1. Minus 3 plus 6 here is 9. Okay. Now we have to convert into 1 plus the opposite of 9. Now we take the larger 9 minus the smaller 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. Take the sign of the larger, which was the negative, and we get our negative 8. Okay, I'm going to stop here.